Booktube, Sarah here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my anticipated reads for August of 2018. So these are the 5 books that I am most excited about that are coming out in August. As you guys know, I've mentioned it before, I have lists on Amazon, wish lists essentially, that are broken down by month, and it's all the books that are coming out in those months. And I go through every month and I pick the top 5, like the 5 I'm most excited about, to sit down here and tell you guys about. So the way these go in order of release date. So it's not like it's my most excited to my least or anything like that. These are strictly on this list as per release date. So the very first one, actually, I didn't realize until I was putting this list together last night and getting all my notes together and stuff like that, that this one actually has a bit of controversy to it, which surprises me, considering the author. And coming out August 7th is Good Luck With That by Kristen Higgins. I was so thrilled when I saw a new Kristen Higgins book coming out. I saw this a couple months ago. It immediately went into my August wish list on Goodreads and or on Amazon, and I'm always excited about her books. You know, I'm a huge fan of her work. And then when I was looking at this last night, I was kind of scrolling through some of the reviews, like the I guess the advanced people that have gotten advanced copies of the book, and there seems to be some controversy with this book. The premise of the book is about 3 best friends who met at weight loss camp when they were much younger. And then as adults, one of the friends tragically dies. And she leaves her dying wish, what does it say here? Her dying wish is that the other 2 friends conquer the fears that they're like carrying with them into adulthood, or carried with them into adulthood. And I guess a lot of people, like, it was interesting, like the first review I saw, like I don't try to read too much of the reviews, but I kind of skim them. And, you know, I'd never read spoilers, but it said something about, you know, mixed reviews. And as I started scrolling through and just looking at star ratings, this book was rated everything from 4 to 5 stars, which, it's a Kristen Higgins, I would automatically want to give it that just because I adore her work. But I would never, this is a big thing for me, and sorry, I'm going to go off on a little small tangent here. Please don't review a book until you've actually read that book. I saw reviews on there from people who were giving it 1 and 2 stars going, well, I'm not going to read this book because it deals with fat shaming. Well, okay, maybe it does. But did you read it, or are you just going off what other people said? This really irked me when Carve the Mark came out by Veronica Roth. Was it last year? This was a huge deal that so many people were like, this book is horrible, don't read this book. Oh, but I actually haven't physically read it myself. In my opinion, you really can't judge anything until you've experienced it or read it or what have you for yourself. Just my 2 cents. But that goes both ways. That's not just giving it a bad review. I would never go on Goodreads and go, oh my god, a new Kristen Higgins book, 5 stars all the way, it's going to be fantastic. You don't know that. You know, like, anyway, that's just my little side note on it. So like I said, a lot of people either really, really love this book or they didn't like this book. I am super excited about reading it. I know I love Kristen Higgins' work. I think she's a great author. She writes great characters, she writes great plots, and I'm very, very interested to see what this one is all about. I do actually have this one on pre-order. I was debating actually on canceling the pre-order on Amazon and pre-ordering it on Audible, so I can listen to it on audio when it comes out, because I would really like to get to it sooner rather than later, because I do kind of want to see, and that's the thing too, with when books have like this hype or this controversy on them, like I haven't really heard anything elsewhere about this. Only what I've been reading on Goodreads, but, you know, it kind of makes you want to read the book more, right? So, anyway, I'm excited about that one. If you're a Kristen Higgins fan, definitely check it out and see if you think it's something that you might enjoy. So the next book, coming out August 21st, is All the Way by Kristen Proby. This is book number 1 in Romancing Manhattan series. I just love books set in New York City, and so when I saw this one, I immediately put it on this list. This is about a man who is a very successful lawyer in New York, and for certain reasons, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but his troubled niece has to come and spend the summer with him in his home in Martha's Vineyard. And then he meets his next door neighbor named London, a woman, and she is actually a Tony Award-winning actress. And the 2 of them develop a relationship, and I guess she has her own issues deciding whether or not she wants to go back to the stage, back to Broadway, and, you know, he's kind of questioning what he does, you know, for a living and things like that. And I don't know, it sounds really good. Again, it's set in New York City. I have a thing for New York romance books, like romance books set in New York. And mainly because I love the From Manhattan with Love series by Sarah Morgan so much. Kristen Proby isn't as humorous as Sarah Morgan tends to be, but I still do enjoy her books. They're not some of my very, very favorite, but they are highly, highly enjoyable. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to this one. Next book coming out on August 28th. Actually, the last 3 books all come out on August 28th, which happens to be my brother's birthday as well, so there we go. This one is Second Time Sweeter by Beverly Jenkins. I did not realize this is book number 9 in a series, in the Blessings series. And it's about a man who has quite a troubled past. He had a reputation as a player, and he's a recovering alcoholic. And he has come back to town, and he's trying to redeem himself in the eyes of the town. And he opens or runs this diner, and he's made it very profitable again. And he's helping, not foster, but, you know, mentor foster kids in town. And he has a relationship with a woman. And, you know, the story kind of goes from there. This sounds like it might be the kind of series that you might need to read in order because you're meeting other characters from previous books. But I thought I'd mention it if this is a series or an author that you are familiar with or that you enjoy her work. I've actually never read Beverly Jenkins, but she is definitely on my list to read this year. I do need to get to one of her books sooner rather than later. So if any of you have any suggestions, if you've read this author, where to start. But I wanted to mention this one because it sounded really good. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. The next book, also coming out again on August 28th, is Toil and Trouble, and this is by various authors. It is being edited by Jessica Spotswood. This is a YA anthology, and it is about, what does it say? A young adult fiction anthology of 15 stories featuring contemporary, historical, and futuristic stories featuring witchy heroines who are diverse in race, class, sexuality, I can talk, religion, geography, and era. It says, are you a good witch or a bad witch? I love the cover on this. I might order this one as a hardcover because it's just such a beautiful edition. I heard about this book earlier, in January of this year from Karen over at Rather Be Reading. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description box below. She does these great videos every month that she does marked as to be read. So all the books, like when she's watching booktube videos or she's looking at blogs or whatever the case may be, and she hears about a certain book, she'll put it on her to be read list on Goodreads. And then she does a video every month talking about all those books and where she found them. Well, this one she mentioned, no kidding, back in January. And immediately I went, yes, please. I love reading books about witchcraft. I just think it's fascinating. You know, I have my own personal beliefs when it comes to that. We won't get into that here. But I'm fascinated by them. Even though this is a YA anthology, I do apologize. The cat is currently scratching up my chair. I'm not huge into YA, and I did read the other one that they did. Pistols and Petticoats, I think it was called. A Tyranny of Petticoats. Sorry, I actually have it up over here. Because I did, again, it was another one that I had bought on hardcover. Sorry, the cat is currently stuck. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. The cat got stuck. His little claw got stuck in the chair. If you didn't scratch the chair, that wouldn't happen, you silly thing. Anyway, so I'm very, very excited about this book. Like I said, I own the first anthology, A Tyranny of Petticoats, on hardcover just because it is a beautiful edition. And I'm thinking I might order this one on hardcover as well. And the last book that I want to talk about, again, coming out August 28th, is Under Control by Shannon Stacey, book number 5 in the Boston Fire series. Let's all just take a moment to appreciate that cover, please. She has the best covers. And if you guys are a fan of Shannon Stacey, you need to follow her on Twitter. She is brilliantly hysterical. She has some of the greatest tweets, and she's actually conversed with me a couple times on things. I just think it's awesome. She's so personable and so, so sweet. Anyway, this story is about a firefighter, and of course book 5 in the series, but these are books, again, that you can read. You don't have to read them in any kind of order if you just want to pick this one up and give it a shot. It's about a man who works, he's a firefighter, and he is a single father of 2 children, and he's gotten a new shift at work. And he, it allows him now to have his weekends off to spend time with his children. I don't think he has sole custody. I think maybe his wife has sole custody. So he gets the kids on the weekends, and now he gets to spend more time with them. Anyway, the story happens, it starts off with him and this woman who is like a high-powered executive of some kind. She makes big money. They're very, very different people. He's very blue-collar, and she's very, high-class kind of idea. And they end up being trapped in an elevator together with the kids. And then they end up meeting again at a local fundraiser of some kind. And then the relationship kind of goes from there. These books are really fantastic. Shannon Stacey very much like Kristen Higgins, like Kristen Higgins books now tend to be more chick lit, but back when she was more contemporary romance with, like the Blue Heron series and things like that, they both have this great, and Sarah Morgan, they both have this great bit of humor interlaced with their stories, and they're really, really fun. Shannon Stacey does border on a little bit more spicy content, so do keep that in mind. I mean, if that cover didn't tell you that, but yes, I absolutely recommend her books. So yeah, so that is it for my anticipated reads for August, guys. Let me know in the comments below if any of these books sound interesting to you. Are you going to pick any of them up? Did you potentially want to buddy read any of them at some point? Let me know. And yeah, until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.